So we have After Effects open, and I can just double click on the project window here and open up the Illustrator file that we have created. Select our file and select composition retain layer sizes while importing and just open it up. Now you have a comp created already. Double click on that and you can see that all your layers are exactly the same as you have created in Illustrator. So we have kept the pupils out of the eye white, so that because we want them to mask, and we have kept almost all of these on separate layers, allowing us the freedom to animate them separately. If they are all in one layer, then we will not be able to separately animate them. Okay, so it's very important to rename your layers right inside After Effects and keep them separate. So let's just jump ahead and start rigging. I'll take the pupils, I'll take the eyes. This should be renamed as pupils, and let's duplicate the eye white. So we have two layers of white here. Let's put one above the pupils so that they can mask the pupils. Select this pupils layer and go to alpha matte so that they are masked by the layer above them, which is the eye white. Select both of them and parent them with this pick whip to EW, which is the actual original eye white. So when I move them, the set moves, and when I move the pupils, they move right inside that mask. And our basic eye rig is ready. Okay, let's now select this eye white, the front hair, this is I think the side hair here, the nose, mouth, eyebrows, and both the ears, and parent all of them to the head. So the head shape, when we move the head shape, everything else moves with it. Okay, and also the back hair to the head. And let's select Y or go to the toolbar and select pan behind tool to adjust the anchor point of the head. Let's bring it down to the bottom where it is connected to the neck. And for example, now when we rotate this head, everything moves with it, but we also have controls for the pupils individually. Okay, now let's parent the head to neck and adjust the anchor point of the neck to from where it will pivot, and then parent the neck again to torso. So when we move the torso, the neck moves, and in turn the head moves, and in turn everything else moves connected to it. Alright, so we have the torso here. Now we also I think have a hip layer. Alright, it's there. Let's just rename this to hip. Okay, and connect the torso to the hip. So when we move the hip, the torso moves with it. When we rotate the hip, everything else rotates with it. And then we don't want the legs to be connected, because if we connect the legs and rotate the hips, the legs will rotate as well. We don't want that. So let's just create a new null shape, which is just a controller. It will not render out. Let's put it down as a main controller. So I'll just name this as main, and I'll connect the hip and both the legs to the main for now. So if I move this null, everything else moves, only the arms remain. Now let's start by actually rigging the arms. Let's start with the right hand, here you go to the Duik bezel tool or Duik tool. If you have, it's free, you can download it and use this to rig your characters. Alright, so to create 3 points on which bones will be added, let's go to the puppet pin tool above in the toolbar and just click on the shoulder, the middle, and the wrist. Okay, so this is the 3 joints, and once you do that, you see that that layer has a mesh menu, and under that you go to deform, and all these 3 pins are visible. It's important that we rename these pins, because if you do it for the other hand or other limbs, if they are the same names, they will conflict and not work. So let's name this as right hand, so RH1, pin number 2 is RH2, and so on. Okay, so we have this 3 pins. Let's select all of them. Inside Duik bezel, just select add bones. This will add bones to your pins, so when you move the bones, that pin will move. Okay, so we're starting to get there. Now we have these 3 bones. So the top bone, which is the first one, let's connect that to the torso, so because the shoulder is connected to the torso, right? And then select the third one, which is the wrist. So wherever you want the control for the hand, for an IK control, select that bone first, then go backwards to 2 and 3, so all 3 bones. Just click on the auto rig and IK, and a controller will be created, and you can move that, and there you go, your hand rig, stretchy hand rig is ready. Okay, now let's connect this controller to the torso as well, because I want torso to be the main point from where the hands are attached, the wrists are also attached. So now when I rotate the hip and the body rotates, the hand rotates with it. Okay, and I can animate the hand individually as well with the controller here. Now we don't need to see those bones, we don't want to accidentally select them, so just select all 3 bones, hide them, turn the shy guy button on, and when you select this, hides all layers, shy switch, all those will be hidden from the layer view. They will be there if you just turn it off, the layers are still there, but we just don't see them because we don't want to animate them anymore, right? And let's do the same thing for the other arm as well. This is very basic rig, and you can do the same for the legs if you want to animate the legs. If the character is just standing, you don't need to do that, but if you want to animate the legs, you do the same process, but there's a slight difference because of the toes. So let me just show you how it works. Let's do the same process, add the puppet pins to the legs. So I'll just select it here, this is the knees, the ankle and the toe. Okay, so now this time we have 4 puppet pins. Let's rename them. Now this will be left leg. Okay, so LL4, LL3, LL2, LL1, and then select all these 4 puppet pins and add bones to them. Right, so we have 4 bones now. Now just connect the top bone, which is at the hip, to the hip shape again, so that it moves with it. And now this time we want the controller to be here at the ankle, so select the third, second and first and create the auto rig again. So we have the controller and the knees and legs work really fine, but this pin needs to be then parented to this one, so that it moves with it, right? So let's just do that, parent it to the third one. So now we move the controller, that pin moves with it, but if you also rotate the controller here, you can have that control as well. So that's how you do the legs. Now let's just hide all of this as well, shy them. Okay, so if I bring down the hip, you have a stretchy leg. Let's do the same thing for the other leg as well. There we go, we have a basic rig for this boy ready. And if I move the hip, for example, I can move him from side to side. The controllers for the leg are not parented to anything but the main null, so they stay put on the ground, which is what we want. We can manipulate the hands and have all the rotations and everything going on. And with the main controller, you can then move and place the character wherever you want. That's it. That's how you create a basic rig in After Effects. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.